defense this year compared to the way you guys played and the way you guys felt as a defense going into last year?
Honestly, I would just say our mentality taking the field. I think our confidence as a defense and trusting Coach Knowles and each of our position groups trusting our position coaches that they're going to put us in the right positions to win. It makes it easier for the player when you can trust the staff. That they're going to put you in the best position.
And we've heard, not that it's a labor this point, but last year you guys were not in sync. And how hard is it to play in a game against a good team when that's not the case?
It's extremely hard. You need to come prepared and you need to have your best foot forward. And at times when you don't have that, it's definitely going to make it harder to win, especially against a matchup team, matchup opponent.
Ronnie, given you're not from here, so you knew about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, but you probably weren't that invested in it until you started getting recruited by them and eventually committed here. So as a guy who isn't from Ohio, when you experience a loss, how does that impact you?
It's a lot. And not only does it impact me, it impacted my teammates. Not just my teammates, but my coaches as well. This city, this state takes a lot of pride in that rivalry, and so do we as a team. And I think it just shows, how important it is and how much we respect this rivalry.
Does it take a loss to maybe understand it to that level?
It can. We take this loss. It definitely stings a little bit. But we use it as motivation this offseason.
So what's changed from your perspective, not for the coaches, but for the players, how you guys maybe approach this offseason and approach this year, given that you did lose this game last year?
Just reminding yourself how I felt walking off that field. It was pretty simple. None of those guys or any of the guys in the locker room want to relive that and refeel that. So we use that in the summer, in the off season, in camp. We're still using it day by day.
What's it like living with that for a year?
It sucks. We're all competitors and competing at the highest levels. You're going to lose. You're going to lose sometimes, but losing to those guys, it hurts a little bit more. So we just use it for motivation.
Ronnie, Tommy, as you may suspect, is a man of two words, so he didn't talk a lot about his hands injury. When you understand how hard it is to play at this level anyway, and then to play with two, I don't know if they're broken or whatever they are, what would you want to say about how he's performed given the circumstances?
Just the standard. Tommy's probably the toughest guy I've ever, stepped on the field with. You can ask anyone in that locker room, specifically on the defensive side. We look at Tommy wherever Tommy goes or whatever he tells us to do. We do it. So you need that on the defense, and you need that leadership, and Tommy brings that every day. And you're right, he doesn't say a lot of words. He kind of leads by action. So a lot of the guys like that as well.
Do you think that's affected him at all, the injury?
No, I think Tommy's still playing lights out. He's a guy you can depend on, you can count on, and he's been doing that tremendous job of that this year.
Ronnie, when Coach Knowles was talking about defending the run, he was talking about the escape hatch and knowing where that's going to be for a team where the guy might come out, especially as it applies to Michigan. Can you just describe what that means and what the preparation is of, we know how they're going to pull guys and that back's going to hit that hole. What do you have to do to be prepared for all of that?
You just got to make the play. We know what they want to do. They know what they want to do, so does the rest of the world. It just comes down to being the man across from you. You just got to execute and do your job at the highest level, play in and play out. So that's our goal, and that's what we're going to do.
It looks like when you watch sometimes some of the big runs that Michigan's hit this year, they'll get guys blocked up, they'll get a puller on a linebacker, but sometimes it comes down to that back on that safety.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, have you seen that at times? Did you expect there's going to be moments where, hey, maybe they're hitting this run for 8 or 10, but it's going to come down to you guys on the back end making sure it doesn't go for 40 or 50?
As a safety, as that last line of defense, you got to be prepared to make that tackle. Because once they get past you, that's kind of like 6 on the board. So it has to be a routine play for us on the back end. But we're there to correct any of the mistakes that happen up front.
How tough is that to fight impulse, to run to the fire? You understand what I'm saying, Ronnie? And play your responsibility, play your gap responsibility, et cetera, for one play to the next when so much is on the line and players want to make a difference.
You just gotta take a step back and realize it's a game. You've been doing it the whole season. It's the last game of the year. A lot of the guys got a lot more experience now. You just got to do your job. It's something that we've been taught since day one coming here, and that's all it is.
And you watch Blake Corum on video. He's really good on the bounce play. Hitting up in there and then bouncing out. How does that, not change the way you play, because everybody tries to play responsibilities and stuff, but like I just said, not to run to where the play might be going because it might be coming to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't really change. You know, you do your job and you do your job at the highest level. You know, when your number's called, you got to make that play. So that's something we've been doing all year, and it won't stop.
How does J.J. McCarthy's ability to make plays after the snap and keep plays alive affect your job?
You know, anytime you got a quarterback who can use his legs, it definitely adds another challenge. But you know, it's nothing we haven't seen this year. You know, our coaches will do a great job scheming those guys up, and we'll go out there and complete the playbook.
What have you? They've had some issues throwing deep and connecting. How do you keep from maybe like not? I don't want to say not respecting it, but what have you thought of their deep passing game this year? I guess.
You don't disrespect anything. You know, you go out there and you execute what the game plan is, and that's what we'll do.
Ronnie, you're among the guys.
Two more questions, guys. We got to get him
You're, you're among the guys walking during senior day. Have you, what went into that decision to participate in the senior day stuff, and any idea for the future yet?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be my last game in the shoe. So, you know, I'm going to cherish it and enjoy it the best I can.
Ronnie, what made you, decide that you want to make that decision now to go pro after this season?
You know, I think everyone clocks start ticking at a certain point. You know, at some point it's going to be time for everyone to take that next step, and I think that's now.
So how do you, how does that change anything on Saturday? Does that give you any more motivation going into Saturday?
No, it doesn't change anything. I don't think I need any more motivation than how that game went last year. So
Ron, this is going to be your final game in Ohio Stadium. It's Ohio State, Michigan. It's 11-0 versus 11-0. How do you feel right now? What does it feel like with that game just a few days away?
It's definitely exciting. You're definitely eager, but you can't look into it too deep. You know, it's Tuesday. I'm focused on having the best Tuesday practice we've had all year. And then when Wednesdays come, I'll take it by that. You just got to take it day by day.
Great. Ronnie, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Appreciate you.